Ladies and gentlemen, now let me ask you something strange, something you've probably asked yourself in the darkest hour of the night or in the quiet boredom of a weekday afternoon. Why were you born in this life? Not just why are we here in that vague, safe, philosophical way, but why you, in this body, at this time, with these fears, these desires, these endless scrolls and meetings and dreams that keep slipping through your fingers like smoke. Now, before you reach for a comforting answer, I ask you to do something even more uncomfortable. Drop the question. Let it fall away just for a moment, because what if the search for purpose is what's keeping you from seeing it? But let me invite you into a far more thrilling possibility. What if you weren't born for a reason? What if you were born for the dance? What if existence doesn't require justification? What if the reason you were born is because the universe simply wanted to feel itself for a little while in your skin, through your laughter, through your tears, through your stumbling attempts at love? The moment you ask, why was I born, you're assuming that life is a business and that someone somewhere is tracking your performance. But what if life is art, and the point of art is not to explain itself, but to move you? Now, you may be wondering, but what do I do with my life then? And that's the magic of it all. The moment you stop needing a cosmic assignment, you're finally free to live. So, stick with me. In the next few moments, we're going to peel back the illusion of meaning and find something much deeper. The joy of being. Not in 5 years, but here's the strange truth that most never dare to say aloud. The idea that you must have a singular grand purpose is an illusion. Life didn't ask you to be useful, it asks you to be alive. The stars don't orbit for a reason. The ocean doesn't crash against the shore to fulfill a mission. Birds don't sing because someone told them to. They do these things because it is their nature. And yet we've convinced ourselves we must justify our existence, as if being here isn't already miracle enough. This illusion of purpose is seductive because it gives the ego something to chase. It feels good to imagine you're on a heroic path, destined for greatness. But the moment life doesn't go according to that script, and it won't, suffering creeps in. You feel lost, broken, behind. That's the trap. The more you seek a defined purpose, the more you miss the richness of the moment, because maybe, just maybe, the point was never to find purpose at all, but to wake up to the astonishing truth that you're already living it. There's a way of living that doesn't require a destination, a way of being where the journey itself is the purpose. Life as we experience it is not a linear path that leads from one fixed point to another. It's not a puzzle to solve or a map to follow. Instead, it's more like a dance. A fluid, dynamic movement between moments, each step in rhythm with the beat of existence itself. The more we understand this, the more we realize that we are not here to achieve or arrive somewhere, but to flow with the music of life. When we think of life as a dance, we understand that the beauty lies in the movement, not in the end result. Each step, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, has its own inherent worth. In the dance of life, there is no judgment, no comparison, and no race to the finish line. There is only the experience of being in motion, of swaying to the unpredictable beat of the universe, where the path unfolds naturally without force. But this requires surrender. It requires stepping away from the tightly held notion that we must control our every move, that we must always be progressing towards something concrete. In fact, it means abandoning the idea that there is any right way to live at all. The beauty of existence is that it is not meant to be boxed in by definitions or categories. It is a continuous improvisation. The moment we allow ourselves to simply be present, to let go of the urge to control the rhythm, we enter into a far richer experience. Life is not a challenge to be conquered, but a dance to be embraced. There's a cosmic irony in the way we approach life's purpose, a joke that the universe itself is playing on us. We take everything so seriously, our jobs, our relationships, our achievements, even our failures, as though all of it has some grand meaning we're supposed to decipher. But in reality, the more seriously we take the search for meaning, the more we miss the playfulness at the heart of it all. Life itself seems to be asking us, why are you so tense? Why are you struggling so much to figure it out? And yet we keep chasing after answers that don't exist, all the while overlooking the simple fact that we are the joke. The truth is, there's no ultimate purpose to this grand cosmic theater. No one wrote a script for us. Life doesn't need a justification or explanation. It's already absurd in its brilliance. And in that absurdity lies the profound truth. We take ourselves far too seriously. The universe is full of contradictions and paradoxes. We come into existence from nothingness. We struggle to understand everything, and then we die. And still, as this human impulse to make sense of it all, as though life's absurdity is somehow a mistake. But maybe, just maybe, the joke is that there was never anything to get in the first place. So what if we stopped trying to make life make sense? What if we could simply laugh at ourselves, at our endless quest for meaning, and embrace the delightful absurdity of being alive? After all, what if the only thing we're truly meant to do is enjoy the dance, enjoy the confusion, enjoy the mystery of it all? Maybe that's the cosmic punchline we're too busy to notice. Life isn't here for us to solve, it's here for us to experience and revel in, without taking it so seriously. We often speak of ourselves as separate from the world around us, as though we are distinct individual entities, isolated in our thoughts and experiences. But the more we delve into the nature of reality, the more we begin to see that this separation is an illusion. In truth, you are the universe looking at itself. You are not merely an observer, but an active participant in the great unfolding of existence. Consider this: everything you see, touch, taste, and feel, all of it, is a reflection of the universe experiencing itself through your senses. The stars, the trees, the oceans, the animals, and yes, even the very air you breathe, are all part of one interconnected whole. We often think of ourselves as individuals, distinct from the world, but in reality we are expressions of it. We are the cosmos manifested in human form, perceiving and experiencing itself. This understanding shifts the way we view not only ourselves, but the entire world around us. There is no out there and in here. There is only one vast interconnected presence, and you are part of it just as the waves are part of the ocean. The separation we feel, the boundaries we create, are merely mental constructs that prevent us from seeing the truth, that the universe is conscious of itself through you. This realization brings with it an immense freedom. If you are the universe experiencing itself, then the pressures of life, the need to find your purpose or make your mark, begin to dissolve. You no longer need to chase after meaning because you already embody it. You are a living expression of the cosmos, constantly unfolding, changing, and growing. The mystery of life is not something to be solved, it is something to be lived. For in every moment, you are both the question and the answer. There is a subtle trap that many of us fall into: the constant pursuit of becoming someone, of transforming into the ideal version of ourselves we imagine in our minds. We chase after a future where we will finally be enough, where we will be successful, worthy, or whole. But in this endless drive to become, we lose sight of the truth. We are already here. The trap of becoming is rooted in the belief that we are incomplete, that we are somehow not enough in our current state. Society reinforces this by constantly presenting us with models of who we should be: more productive, more attractive, more wealthy, more accomplished. The message is clear: who you are now is insufficient, and only through transformation will you find fulfillment. So we push ourselves to grow, to change, to become, but in this very act of striving, we miss the profound reality that the essence of who we are is already complete. When we constantly seek to become something else, we disconnect from the richness of the present moment. We miss the fact that we already exist in our full, unique expression. The idea that we need to improve or evolve ourselves into something else is a false narrative that perpetuates dissatisfaction. It keeps us in a state of perpetual longing, constantly reaching for an ideal that is always just out of our grasp. True freedom lies not in the pursuit of becoming, but in the embrace of being. The moment we stop trying to fix ourselves, to become someone different, we discover that we are already whole. already perfect in our own way. We don't need to chase after an idealized version of ourselves. We simply need to show up as we are, with all our flaws, our uniqueness, and our beauty. In a world that constantly demands answers, certainty, and control, there is a quiet yet profound freedom in not knowing. We are taught from an early age that knowledge is power, that certainty is a sign of strength, and that the more we know, the more we can navigate life successfully. But what if the true path to freedom lies not in knowing, but in embracing the vast expanse of what we don't understand? The urge to seek certainty is deeply ingrained in us. We want to know the future, to have clear plans, and to control the narrative of our lives. But the more we try to cling to certainty, the more we find that life is a constant flow of unexpected changes and surprises. We realize that despite our best efforts, we cannot predict what will happen next. And in that realization lies liberation. When we allow ourselves to live in the space of not knowing, we release the need to control or manipulate outcomes. We stop trying to force the future into a box and instead open ourselves to the mystery of the present moment. In that space, we find a deeper sense of peace. We begin to trust life as it unfolds, understanding that the uncertainty itself is a vital part of the human experience. The liberation of not knowing is the freedom to explore, to be curious, and to experience life without the burden of figuring it all out. It is a surrender to the vast, mysterious flow of existence. Instead of trying to impose our will on the world, we allow the world to unfold as it will, knowing that we don't need to have all the answers. We only need to be fully present for the journey. In the end, the question, why were you born in this life, may never have a definitive answer. And that's exactly the point. Life isn't something to be solved, nor is it a puzzle to be pieced together. It is a continuous unfolding, a dance of moments, where the search for meaning often obscures the richness of simply being. When we let go of the need to find a grand purpose, we begin to experience the magic of existence itself. The joy in simply breathing, feeling, and being present in each moment. You were not born to chase after some distant goal or to fulfill someone else's idea of success. You were born to live fully, to experience the ebb and flow of life, to laugh, to stumble, to grow, and to realize that you are already a part of the great cosmic play. The beauty of life is not in its certainty, but in its mystery, not in its answers, but in its questions. So the next time you find yourself asking why you were born, remember this. You are not here to search for an elusive meaning, but to experience the wonder of what it means to be alive. Embrace the uncertainty, let go of the pursuit of perfection, and allow yourself to be the universe looking at itself. Knowing that the joy of life is in living, not in figuring it out.